Welcome to Federal Grand Jury Service. You're here today because you've been asked to take part in our democratic process by serving as a member of a federal grand jury. It's a job of great importance, grounded in the Constitution that guarantees our freedoms. The drafters of the Constitution knew that deciding whether or not to accuse someone of a crime is an enormous power. So they created the grand jury, so that the common sense, life experience, and judgment of regular citizens is brought to bear on these decisions.
And I'm an assistant United States attorney for this district.
Grand juries investigate crimes by hearing testimony and reviewing other evidence, and they decide whether there is probable cause to believe a crime was committed by the person or entity being investigated. Only if 12 grand jurors agree that the evidence shows probable cause can the case go forward. Thus, the grand jury serves as both sword and shield. Every individual grand juror has an important role in the system. Without the active participation of people like you, regular citizens doing their public duty, the grand jury could not live up to the name given to it by the Founding Fathers, the People's Panel. Now, we know that your grand jury summons probably came as quite a surprise.
What now?
You may have concerns about how grand jury service will fit into your schedule,
Like I don't have enough to do.
or doubts about your ability to do a good job.
I don't know. It's just so much responsibility.
You may be completely in the dark about what you'll be asked to do.
What do you think this means?
Over the next half hour or so, we'll try to answer some of your questions, give you a bit more insight on the role of a grand juror, and show you what the experience will be like.
Oh, it's a summons to serve on a federal grand jury. Hey, congratulations, you're really a citizen now.
I know what a jury is, but what is this grand jury?
I don't know. Let's look it up.
So how am I supposed to run my branch while I'm sitting in some courtroom?
It'll be a challenge for you and me both, but we'll just have to work it out. It's almost impossible to be excused. And I understand why. If they excused everybody who was busy at work, there wouldn't be any grand juries.
Nikki, you're a lawyer. Tell me what this is about.
It's not my field, but I can tell you a little. Grand juries deal only with criminal matters, and this is a federal summons, so that means that all the cases you would hear are brought by the United States government.
All the cases? What is this, a full-time job?
No. You wouldn't hear the whole trials. It varies, but they might meet a couple times a month for something like 18 months.
Did you say 18 months? Well, they better not be counting on me. I don't want to decide who goes to prison. What if I lock up some innocent person? Or let someone out and they go commit more crimes?
Whoa, slow down. You won't be making these decisions all by yourself. And anyway, aren't you thinking of trial juries? I don't think the grand jury even gets into guilty versus not guilty.
Then what does it do?
Look, here it says. Grand jury decide whether there is probably cause to believe a crime was committed and that a specific person or persons committed it.
Then what?
If the grand jury found probable cause, then it returns a written statement of the charges called an indictment. I know that word from TV.
Let me see. Once a defendant is charged by indictment, he or she can be tried for the offense.
So a grand jury has to say yes before they can have a trial?
Right. It sounds interesting. Ask the judge if I can come too.
No. Your blood pressure is controlled with a medication. It won't stop you from seeing our grand jury. Why not go and see what it's like?
And so, here you are, seeing what it's like. Let's find out what's next.
Wow, this is a full house.
If they just need 12 people, maybe we'll get to go home.
Actually, they need 23 for each grand jury, plus alternates. And they might be picking more than one. This your first experience with a grand jury?
Mm-hmm. You sound like you know what's what.
I was summoned a couple of years ago, but I had a commitment that made it impossible, and the judge excused me. This time I'm back, and I'm ready to go.
You sound like you want to be on the grand jury.
Yeah, I really do. You don't?
No.
It may sound corny, but I think it's a rare opportunity to give something back. The responsibility might seem intimidating at first,
Well,
but
I have no problem with the responsibility. It's the time commitment that's throwing me. I mean, I don't know what you do for a living, Mr.
Oh, Sam Corey. Sam. And I'm a restaurant manager.
Yvonne Reynolds. Well, I'm a technical writer and the divorced mom of 2 kids. I'm also treasurer of my PTA, and I just got elected president of the neighborhood association, so there are no hours in my day for a grand jury.
Here's the judge.
All rise. Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Williams
Try to keep an open
presiding.
mind a little longer, okay?
Please be seated. Welcome to the United States District Court. You have been chosen randomly from a fair cross-section of our community and summoned here today to serve as federal grand jurors. The grand jury is an independent body made up of people like you, whose function includes not only the investigation of possible crimes and the initiation of criminal prosecutions, but also the protection of our citizens against unfounded charges. More specifically, as grand jurors, you will be asked to hear evidence of whether federal crimes have been committed, crimes which can range from distribution of illegal drugs to tax evasion to robberies of federally insured banks. Your job will be to listen to the testimony of witnesses and to any other evidence presented by the United States Attorney and the Assistant United States Attorneys, we call them AUSAs, and to decide whether that evidence shows probable cause to believe that a crime has been committed and that the person being charged committed that crime. You must find probable cause in order to return an indictment. Now, notice I didn't say you had to find anything beyond a reasonable doubt. That is the standard in a trial where the petit jury, made up of 12 people, decides whether the defendant is guilty or not guilty. If you decide the evidence you hear doesn't add up to probable cause, then there can be no indictment. Now, in our district, the grand jury term of service is something...
Grand jury terms and schedules vary widely from one district to the next, so you'll learn the schedule in your court from a live person there.
Now, if any of you has a compelling reason why you feel you cannot serve on a grand jury, I will speak with you individually. But first, let me remind you that while grand jury service will cause some inconvenience to your personal life and work, you are being offered a precious opportunity to participate directly in the process of government. Government by the people. An opportunity you may never have again. People who have served on grand juries speak with great enthusiasm about how much they learned and about how deeply involved they felt they were in the decisions they were called upon to make. All right, raise your hand if you have something to discuss.
I see what you mean. Okay, I hope I won't regret this later.
All right. We needed 23 grand jurors plus alternates, and now we have them. Or should I say, now we have you. Welcome to the grand jury. Ms. Rodriguez, our jury administrator, will administer the oath, and after that, she'll go over the ground rules, things like where to park and where to eat.
Of course, those kinds of instructions differ completely from one court to the next, so you'll hear yours from your own court's jury administrator.
To diligently inquire into.
I expect you new grand jurors would like to know a little bit about who you're going to be working with for the next several months. So I would like each of you to tell us something about yourself. Ms. Abshire.
Hi, Your Honor. I'm a graphic artist and I take art classes at night.
I'm married to a financial advisor. I have 2 children in middle school and 1 in elementary.
My wife and I moved to this country 4 years ago, and I became
I run
a US
my own
citizen.
plumbing business. Divorced, 3
I'm a
kids.
retired high school teacher with 6 grandchildren. I was on the trial jury about 3 years ago.
I've never been on a jury of any kind.
Thank you. I hope all of you will enjoy your grand jury experience. Now it is time for me to choose a foreperson and a deputy. The foreperson will administer oaths and affirmations to witnesses and also record how the jurors vote in each indictment and file that record with the clerk. When the foreperson is absent, the deputy foreperson will assume those duties. Mr. Corey, I think your management experience makes you a natural as foreperson. And Ms. Reynolds, with your community leadership experience, I think you'll make an excellent deputy foreperson.
No, that wasn't nearly as bad as I thought it was going to be.
No, I wasn't expecting to be deputy foreperson, but I have to admit, I'm looking forward to getting started.
May I have your attention, please? To start my new job as your foreperson, I'd like to call this session to order. 15 of us are present, and we need at least 16 to get started. Does anyone know where the others are?
I think some of them are in a carpool together. Maybe they're stuck in traffic.
Why don't we just get started? They can catch up when they get here.
I don't think we can do that. The rules require at least 16 grand jurors for a quorum, and without a quorum, we can't do business. So I guess we wait. Unless there's something you'd like to say, Mr. Hart.
No, you're right about needing 16 people to do business. Anything I said now, I just have to say again when the others get here. And if they don't make it, all of you will just go home.
That wouldn't be a great start, would it?
No, it would not. Let's give them a few more minutes.
Sorry we're late. We got stuck behind an accident.
All right, that gives us 20 jurors, enough for a quorum. Let's get started. This is Mr. Hart, the AUSA. Mr. Hart?
Thank you. My name is Jonathan Hart, and I'm an assistant United States attorney for this district. I'll be presenting the government's evidence to you today. First, I'd like to thank you again for your service. Now, I understand that sometimes circumstances arise that are beyond anybody's control, but I do want to emphasize how important it is that you come on the days we're scheduled, you arrive on time, and you stay for the duration of the meeting. We have a lot of work to do, and it is in all our best interest to be as efficient as possible. If you know you can't be here, or you're going to be late, please.
You may be instructed to report scheduling problems to the court, the AUSA, or your foreperson.
And of course, the more notice you can give us, the better. Any questions so far? Ms. Reynolds.
It's hard to imagine doing all of this without a judge in the room. It's just you and us.
That's right, and the witnesses. The law doesn't allow a defense lawyer to be present, and there's no need for a judge. It's really very different from a trial.
Okay, wait a minute. There's no defense lawyer? Can the defendant really answer questions with no lawyer?
If you, the grand jury, requested, the target can choose to testify. The person is not a defendant at this point, but is a target of the investigation. In that case, he or she has the right to confer privately with a defense attorney outside the grand jury room.
But you're saying the target can refuse. If we need to hear what this person had to say, we can't...
No, and that's one way in which the grand jury is similar to a trial. A suspect has the right not to incriminate him or herself, to remain silent, and so can't be compelled to testify like other witnesses. And no inference of guilt can be drawn about a person not testifying. If the case does go to trial, he or she will have a full opportunity to test the government's evidence and to present evidence on his or her behalf at that point.
On TV, I've seen grand jurors ask witnesses their own questions. Is that really how it works?
Good question. Yes, that's how it works. This is your investigation. Ordinarily, I'll question the witness first, then the foreperson, then the other grand jurors can ask questions. You can ask any question that's relevant to probable cause in the case. If a question is not relevant to probable cause, I may direct the witness not to respond.
In some courts, individual grand jurors submit their questions to the AUSA or the foreperson instead of asking them directly of the witnesses.
Sometimes the AUSA is called the district attorney. Is that right?
Not quite. They're similar, but the district attorney is a state government official. All the cases you'll hear are about possible violations of the laws of the United States, and in the federal system, we're AUSAs. Today, the government will present evidence of an alleged violation of the federal armed bank robbery statute by Robert Bowen and Edward Perkins. I anticipate that the evidence will show that on March 6th of this year, a bank robbery occurred at the First National Bank of Somerville. This is a federal crime because the bank's deposits are insured by the federal government. A man wearing a blue jacket entered the bank. He approached the teller, Beverly Pritchard, and pointed a gun in her face. With his other hand, he placed a small bag on the counter and demanded that she fill the bag with all the money in her drawer. She put the money into the bag and handed it to him. He then ran outside and jumped into a waiting car, which sped away. Our first witness is FBI agent Marissa Terry. Mr. Foreperson, will you please swear in the witness?
Raise your right hand, please. Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Members of the jury, please pay close attention to the TV screen at the front of the room. The evidence being shown on it is directly related to Agent Terry's testimony. Agent Terry, as the FBI agent in charge of investigating this case, where did you obtain the videotape we have just seen?
It was taken from the security camera just above the front entrance of the First National Bank of Somerville on the afternoon of March 6th.
Did you show the tape to Beverly Pritchard, the teller who was robbed?
Yes, I did.
What, if anything, did she say about the man shown in the tape?
She said the man shown in the tape was the man who robbed the bank. She said he threatened her with a handgun, demanded the money from her cash drawer, put it into a bag, and ran out of the bank with it.
All right. Did you ask Miss Pritchard if she could identify the man shown in the tape?
Yes, and she said she could.
And how was she able to identify him?
She said she had seen the man before in the bank lobby. We showed her an array of photographs containing the photo of Robert Bowen. We asked her if she could identify anyone in the array as the robber. She pointed to the photo of Mr. Bowen and said she had no doubt it was him.
I have no further questions of Agent Terry. Would any member of the grand jury like to ask anything?
I would. Did you ask Miss Pritchard if she could see who the driver of the car was?
I did. She said she saw the driver only from the rear and from a distance, so she could not make an ID.
Were there any other witnesses who were able to describe the driver?
We weren't able to find one, but we're still investigating that point.
Anything else? May the witness be dismissed? You're dismissed, Agent Terry. Thank you. I want to point out that part of what we heard from Ms. Terry is called hearsay testimony. It's a witness's testimony reporting a statement made by another person out of court. The statements by Ms. Pritchard that she testified about were made out of court, so they are hearsay.
Is that allowed? I mean, on court shows on TV, it seems like the one thing you always hear lawyers say is objection, hearsay.
You're right. In an actual trial, there are complicated rules about when hearsay can be admitted. But the reason I brought it up is the grand jury is different. For our purposes, yes, you can use those statements as a basis for finding probable cause if you believe the statements are reliable. Clear? Now, from time to time, you'll notice other areas where grand jury procedure is different from your ideas of what goes on in a courtroom. Don't ever hesitate to ask. Our next witness is Miss Tara Burgess.
Raise your right hand, please. Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Will you please state your name and occupation?
My name is Tara Burgess, and I'm a supermarket cashier.
Do you know an individual named Robert Bowen?
Yeah, he's my friend.
Did you see Mr. Bowen on March 6th?
Yeah,
And about what time was that?
it was the morning. He rode to work with me so he could borrow my car. I guess I got there about 9:30.
And what happened after you arrived at work?
Bobby took the car and left.
Did Mr. Bowen say where he was going in your car after he dropped you off at work?
He said he was gonna pick up a friend and they were gonna run some errands together.
Did he name the friend he was picking up?
Yeah, Eddie Perkins.
Did he mention the nature of the errands?
No, he just said errands.
And what did you do after Mr. Bowen drove away?
I stayed at work until quitting time, around 4:30.
And when did Mr. Bowen bring your car back?
I guess it was about 3:30. Yeah, that's right. He came in the store and gave me the keys.
I have no further questions for Miss Burgess. Anyone?
Yes. Ms. Burgess, was Mr. Perkins with Mr. Bowen when he gave you back the car keys?
Nah, Eddie wasn't with him.
Anyone else?
Yeah. So I think we should be clear on you and this guy you're testifying about. Is he just a friend, or is he a friend?
Do I have to answer that?
I think it's relevant, yes.
I guess you could say he's my boyfriend.
Did you notice anything different about the car after he brought it back?
No.
Anything else? Thank you, Miss Burgess. You may be excused. Now, before we proceed with this case, we'll take a 1-hour break for lunch. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to remind you that we are sworn to secrecy in the matters under investigation in this grand jury room. Idle talk can put witnesses' lives in jeopardy. It can harm or even ruin the reputations of those that are merely investigated but never charged. So please, do not discuss the case under investigation outside of this room with each other or with anyone else. And that includes your friends, your family, and yes, even your spouse.
That was very interesting this morning. When we go back after lunch, we vote?
Soon, I think. But Mr. Hart hasn't wrapped up yet, and he may still have evidence to present.
And even after he finishes, if we don't feel we've heard enough to decide, we can ask him about getting more evidence. So...
No, I'm not there because I'm at a federal courthouse. No, man. No, I'm sitting on a federal grand jury. Yeah, can you believe that? Yeah, check this out. This morning they showed us a video of a guy holding up a bank.
Excuse me.
Yeah, no, it was wild, man.
Excuse me.
Hey, look, hold on a second.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but remember, we're not supposed to talk about the cases with people not on the grand jury. Remember our oath of secrecy?
It's fine. I'm not mentioning any names. I'm just telling my friend where I am.
Yes, but we're not allowed to talk about it at all. Now, if you think that's not right, we can speak with the foreperson.
No, look, it's cool, all right? I'm sorry. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, dude, did you hear that? Yeah, the secrecy police got me. Look, look, man. Seriously, I shouldn't be talking about that stuff, okay?
And that concludes the evidence against Mr. Bowen and Mr. Perkins.
Wait a minute. I have a question for you. Does either of these guys have a criminal record?
Usually, whether or not there's criminal history is not relevant to the question of whether a target committed a particular offense, and it's not relevant in this case. Okay, if there's nothing else, then it's time for us to go over the indictment to make sure you understand the elements of the offense before you deliberate and vote.
All right. We're all alone now. No government attorney, no court reporter, just us. Any questions before we get started?
Sam, I'm sorry to ask, but could you go over exactly what it means if we vote yes?
No reason to be sorry or embarrassed. This is new to practically all of us.
Let me see if I've got this. If we vote yes, that means we've decided that the government has met its burden of proving there is probable cause that the bank was robbed, that it was an armed robbery, and that Bowen and Perkins were the robbers.
That's right, Yvonne. So if that's what we decide, then we return an indictment.
Thank you.
Well, since you've excused us from being embarrassed, let me ask this question. What do they need us for? Why doesn't the government just bring them to trial and let the trial jury figure it out?
Joe, right? The judge said we have two purposes. One is to investigate crimes so that if prosecutions can go forward if we find probable cause. But the other is to protect people from being prosecuted unfairly. Any other questions? Then we'll proceed with our deliberations. Personally, I think that the robbery took place and that Bowen did it. I'm not too sure that Perkins was involved, though. What do the rest of you think?
I'll tell you what I think. I think Bowen and Perkins did it together. These guys are good buds, right? And Bowen told his girlfriend that he was going to pick up Perkins to run errands together, so who else would it be?
Makes sense to me. Want to vote now?
Wait a minute, I don't follow that logic at all.
We all need to have a chance to express our views and discuss it before we vote.
I don't follow your logic either, Joe. There's nothing to connect Perkins with the robbery. The teller couldn't identify the driver, and they haven't managed to find anybody else who could even describe him.
Or her. Nobody even saw the driver clearly enough to say it was a man. There's a lot of people out there besides Perkins.
Right. And Miss Burgers never saw Mr. Perkins. Mr. Bowen borrowed the car alone. And Mr. Bowen brought the car back alone.
Oh, come on now. Well, the AUSA is not going to put Perkins' name on that piece of paper, the indictment, if he didn't think he drove the getaway car. He knows how these things run. He's seen all the evidence. He knows he has a case against him.
What? We don't have to hand down an indictment just because the AUSA says we should. How these things work is, that's his job to represent the government's position.
Well, yes, but it's not as if we're sending him to prison. And we don't have to find anything beyond reasonable doubt. It's just probable cause.
I don't think he showed probable cause either. There's not enough evidence to say that Perkins probably did anything at all.
I don't know that he did it, but I'm not comfortable sending him back out on the street either. The way I look at it, indicting him just keeps the options open.
But that's where the shield part of our job comes in. I don't know about the rest of you, but I would hate to have to go through a trial when there's nothing more to connect me to the crime except my friend said we were running errands together.
Maybe Perkins was sick and Bowen picked up somebody else.
We have no idea.
Okay, you're right. So we don't know. So can we vote now?
Well, suppose we haven't heard enough evidence to find that there's probable cause in the case of Perkins. What happens then? Does he just get off?
Not necessarily. If the AUSA can get more evidence against Perkins, he can bring the case up again before this grand jury or before another one. Maybe this is a good time to take a vote. Let's see where we stand at this point. Who wants to indict Bowen? And who wants to indict Perkins?
That's nowhere near 12 votes.
No, I don't think we're going to get 12.
So what do we do, Sam? Can we sign half of it?
I don't know. Let's ask Mr. Hart.
Okay, here's what we have to do. You can't sign just part of an indictment. If you don't want to indict Perkins, then don't sign it at all. I'll give you a new indictment just for Bowen, and you can sign that one.
Good. Thanks.
I've been thinking about you all day. Now you can tell me about the grand jury.
Well, Actually, I can't.
What does that mean?
We took an oath of secrecy. We're not supposed to tell anyone about anything that happened in the grand jury room.
Oh, honey, that doesn't mean you can't tell your mother.
I'm sorry, Mom, but they were very clear that it meant everybody, even husbands and wives.
Well, who's gonna know?
I'm sorry. It was a good day. It was interesting. I think I like being a grand jury member. But that's really, really all I can say. Sorry.
All right, I'll see you in a bit. Hey, is that a grand jury handbook I see? Does that mean they caught you?
It means I let myself get caught. I decided it was worth rearranging some things to make room for it.
What in the world can you rearrange?
Tough one, but my PTA treasurer term is almost over, so I guess I'll let somebody else pick that up.
So are you enjoying it?
I wouldn't say enjoying it exactly, but this was a very interesting day.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Honorable John R. Roberts, Jr., Chief Justice of the United States of America.
The dramatization you just saw was meant to give you an idea of what grand jury service is all about. As you saw, grand juries differ from trial juries in many ways, but both require the participation of citizens, individual Americans like you. The ordinary citizen provides an important defense for the freedoms guaranteed by our Constitution. Grand jury service does require a substantial amount of time and energy, but I'm confident you'll find it is time well spent and energy well directed. After all, the success of the People's Panel rests with you, the people. Serve well and be proud of the system that depends on you. Thank you.